Finally, today, we meet a man who creates sculptures out of formless metal, sculptures which seem to spring to life. His work can be found in the homes of people like Jimmy Carter and Coretta Scott King, and it's no wonder. When you look at Tim Holmes' work, you see the very image of freedom and hope, and you also sense the deep conviction of his beliefs. But to really understand his work, you have to meet the artist himself. So we went to Helena, Montana, and spent a day with sculptor Tim Holmes.
Good music on KUFM, Montana Public Radio.
While all other kids were out, buying bicycles and candy, I was getting a job and buying a set of welding tanks. My parents must have been horrified. I can't remember what their first response was. But I remember starting to take silverware out of the drawers and making sculpture out of it. One of my dad's cars sat in the driveway too long, and pretty soon bits of that would start to disappear. It's intricate. I can make shapes, but I can't fix your car. This guy has been squashed flat by the burdens of life, as we all have. There's something really funny about that. It's called Monday Morning. Probably a little kid that just torched the living room, the father's saying, "Now I really should skin you alive." But
at least 57 people are dead in the bloodiest political trouble in South Africa this year. I'm Howard Beyer on the Satellite News Network.
This depicts a struggling black man whose feet sort of turn into these chains. It's a contemporary crucifixion. It's not the kind of torture they used 2,000 years ago. It's kind they use right now in Central America and in South Africa. I kind of feel like my job is to comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. The society would be better off if we listened to the playwrights and the poets and the painters and the sculptors. Not because they're always right, but because there's something about their perspective that is going to be instructive to us. If I had to sell my own stuff, it would either be free or absolutely priceless.
This is 1800. This is 2100, or 2000, 1800.
In selling a piece of art, you're trying to sell a relationship. And it just doesn't really make any sense. And if I had to do it instead of my manager, I'd probably be dead.
You got this guy wired. Okay. We're thank you very grateful.
This thing just would not leave me alone. The idea wouldn't leave me alone. To me, a work of art is not in the physical object. The physical object is a piece of junk. What makes it powerful is the relationship you have with it.
Factions of blacks fought each other with guns, grenades, and knives for a second day.
When I look at Tim Holmes' sculpture, I'm not sure I know exactly what it is I'm looking at or exactly what it is he means, but I know I feel something powerful. And that's the important part, you know, how you relate to art, that you see something.
There's no one right way to see a piece of art.
That's right.
And art can speak to you in many, many different ways.
And every time you see it, it could be something different.
That's right.
In fact, Martha Graham said, if you see it, it's there. I really appreciate that comment.